Hint is that y is usually the total.
Usually.
How often is it the other way around?
It's not that it would be the other way around, but y might stand for something besides the total. Alright, a band wants to make their own CD. Fly By Night producer will create the CD for a fee of $100 plus $2 for each CD the band orders. So you have, here's your $2 for each. So what is your X going to be? What does the variable stand for? What part? What
Per
thing? The CDs, the number of CDs. And what does Y stand for? The total cost. So I want to write this in an equation in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. So y equals what? 2x, 2 times the number of CDs. Plus, it's just $100 just to record it. So the total cost is equal to 2 times the number of CDs plus $100 just for the recording. So number 2. A certain kind of puppy is born weighing 12 ounces and then gains 3 ounces each day for the first several days of life. What would X stand for? Days. And what does Y stand for?
Total.
The weight or the total ounces. So we write that one as an equation. It would be Y equals what?
3x plus
3x plus 12. 3 ounces per day plus the original 12 ounces. A certain diet program promises that a 200-pound person can lose 6 pounds per week using their product. What is X? Weeks. What is Y? Their total pounds or weight. And how would we write this? Y equals what?
Y equals 6.
So negative 6x because they are losing 6 pounds per week plus 200 because that's what they started at. Or you could write it as y equals 200, which is where they started, minus 6 pounds per week. So minus 6x. No. Because then you're saying 6 pounds a week minus 200 pounds.
That's true.
All right, try 4 and 5. For number 4, what is x? Seconds. And what is y? The total meters. So what's the equation? Y equals 3x plus 5. And number 5, what is x? Days. What is y? The total cubic meters. And what is this equation? Y equals negative 200x plus 40,000. And it's negative because they are losing 200 cubic meters per day. Alright, next page. Now we're going to apply, so this review, two systems of equations. Suppose you are testing two fertilizers on bamboo plants, A and B, which are growing under identical conditions. Plant A is 6 centimeters tall and growing at a rate of 4 centimeters per day. Plant B is 10 centimeters tall and growing at a rate of 2 centimeters per day. Which system, which of these four, would be the correct way to model that? Yes, D. Because the first one starts at 6 centimeters and adds 4 centimeters per day, and the second one starts at 10 centimeters and adds 2 centimeters a day, so that would be D. Next, you are testing two fertilizers on bamboo plants C and D. Write a system of equations that models the height H of each plant as a function of days D. So it's going to be H equals, what would it be for plant C?
3D plus
3D plus 5. 3 centimeters per day plus the 5 centimeters it originally was. And then what about plant D? H equals
4D plus
4D plus 1. The system below models the height of the bamboo plants from example 1. Find the solution of the system by graphing and algebraically. So first of all, we have days is going to be our x-axis, and height is going to be our y-axis. So for the first one, 40 plus 6, where does it start?
6.
At 6. That's our intercept. And then where does it go from there? Up 4 over 1. And then the plant B, where does that one start? At 10. And where does that one go? Up 2 over 1. So what is the solution point there? 214?
Yeah, 2.
214 is where they cross. So let's confirm that by doing this algebraically. Which method is easiest when you have a variable by itself? The substitution method. So since I already have h by itself, h is the same thing as 4d plus 6. So I can plug 4d plus 6 into the second equation. So that would be 4d plus 6 equals 2d plus 10. Then what?
You subtract 2D on both sides.
Subtract 2d on both sides. So 2d plus 6 equals 10. Then
Subtract 6 on both sides.
2d equals 4. Divide by 2. So d equals 4. And we need to plug that back in. So h equals...
D equals 4.
That's what I meant. Sorry, 2. So h equals 4 times 2 plus 6. So 8 plus 6, which is 14. So as an ordered pair, how would I write that? 214. And what does this mean in the context of the situation? So what is the height?
Height was 14 after 2 days.
So yes. Okay, so let's put that all together. Both plants will be 14 centimeters tall after 2 days. All right, example 3. We are going to define variables and write a system and then solve it. So Janelle has $20 and is saving $6 per week. April has $150 and is spending $4 per week. When will they both have the same amount of money, and how much will they have? So first, I'm going to skip down. It's normally easier to write the equations. What would the equation be for Janelle?
6x plus 20.
Right, so y equals 6x plus 20. And what about for April?
Y equals 4x plus 150.
So negative 4x because she's spending $4 per week plus the 150 she started with. So what is x? No. What's the per word? It's per week. So x is going to be weeks. And what is y?
Total amount.
The total amount of money that they have. So again, you already have a variable by itself, so we can just use the substitution method. Y is equal to 6x plus 20. We can plug 6x plus 20 in for y in the second equation. So that becomes 6x plus 20 equals negative 4x plus 150. What do we do to both sides? Add 4x. So 10x plus 20 equals 150, and then what? Subtract 20. So 10x equals 130. Divide by 10. So x equals 13. Plug that into either equation. So y equals 6 times 13 plus 20. So 6 times 13 is 78, plus 20 is 98. So what's my ordered pair? 1398. And then we need to talk about what does that mean in the context of this problem?
After they have
13 weeks. They both have $98.
13.
So after 13 weeks, they both have $98. Alright, everybody try the understanding check. Number 1. What does X stand for? Weeks, yes. What does Y stand for? The total pounds or weight. And what is the equation for Sam? Y equals 2x plus 205. He's gaining 2 pounds a week, and he started at 205. What about Hector? Y equals 3x plus 195. And so again, substitution, you would get 2x plus 205 equals 3x plus 195. What do we do to both sides? You want to get your x's on the same side, so it doesn't matter which way you do this. We can subtract 3x from both sides. You get negative 1x plus 205 equals 195. Subtract 205. So negative 1x equals negative 10. And divide both sides by negative 1, so x equals positive 10. Have what?
You also switch the sides, but it was 3x.
Yes.
Stupid.
Alright, and then plug that back in. So y equals 2 times 10 plus 205. So that's going to be y equals 225. What's my solution? What's my ordered pair?
Oh, 10,
10, 225. And what does that mean?
that means after 10, so both legs 125.
Right. In 10 weeks, they will both weigh 225 pounds.
Yeah.
Number 2, what does X stand for?
Year.
Years. What does Y stand for?
Total amount of people.
The total people or the population? And what is the equation for Smallsville?
Y equals 500x plus 22,000.
Y equals 500x plus 22,000. And what about Busytown?
Equal to negative 200.
Plus 43,000. All right. So set those equal. 500x plus 22,000 equals negative 200x plus 43,000. And when you solved all that, what'd you get? Don't need me to solve it. Anybody want to talk?
Oh, I saw that just now. I just finished. So first you add 2
Okay, so
x on both sides.
add 200x. So that's 700x plus 22,000 equals 43,000.
And then you subtract 22,000 on both sides.
Subtract 22,000 from both sides. So 700x equals 21,000.
And then you divide 21,000 by 700.
Divide by 700. So x equals
3?
30.
Oh, 3.
You can cancel out the 2 of the zeros, and then it's 210 divided by 7. That's 30. And then plug that back in. So y equals 500 times 30 plus 22,000. So that's 15,000 plus 22,000, which is 43,000. So what does that mean in the context of this problem?
In 30 years. Wait.
In 30 years.
In 30 years, both of the populations will be.
Right. Both towns.
Wait.
Did I add wrong? Yes, I added wrong.
It's
So,
230.
37,000.
Oh, yeah.
So in 30 years, both towns
It's 230. Yeah.
will have 37,000 people. Equation for how much you earn.
Y equals
2x.
2x.
That's it. You just get $2 per newsletter. So let's find the break-even point. So again, substitution. You are plugging in 0.50x plus 300 in for y in the second equation. So that is 0.50x plus 300 equals 2x. Subtract 0.50x from both sides. So 300 equals 1.50x. Divide by 1.50. So x equals 200.
Yeah.
And so if you plug that back in, y equals 2 times 200. That would be y equals 400. So what does this mean? It means that you break even when you sell 200 copies of the newsletter.
You get $400 when you sold 200.
But you spent $400 on making it, so you don't get anything.
Oh.
Wait, so you broke.
So you break even when you sell 200 copies of the newsletter. All right, go ahead and try the understanding check. It's just like that one. And for the number of copies. What does Y stand for? The total amount cost. Well, it's not cost. It's cost and profit. What is the equation for the expenses? Y equals 0.80x plus 120. And what is the one for the amount earned?
$1.
Y equals 1x. So you should have 0.80x plus 120 equals 1x. Subtract 0.80x from both sides. So 120 equals 0.20x. Divide both sides by 0.20. So that is 600 equals x. So the break-even point is selling 600 copies.
I don't get it. Why did you subtract 80x?
To get the x's on the same side,
Why don't you subtract the 1? You know.
because then you have nothing left on that side.
Okay. 1x minus 0.80 is 47.
$1 minus 80 cents is 20 cents.
Oh yeah, this is cents. Never mind. Okay.
All right. Now we're going to do it in standard form. So a company will charge $3 to ship medium-sized boxes to China and $4 to ship large boxes to China. Write an equation to represent the amount of boxes the company could ship if their budget is $130. So it's $3 per medium box, so 3x, and x stands for medium boxes, plus $4 per large box, so y stands for large boxes, and their total that they can spend is $132. So this first page is just a review of writing the equations. We're not solving for anything on this page. Jenny is making a scrapbook of her senior year. She needs to get some pictures printed. She finds an online company that will print and send her 3x5 pictures for 20 cents each and 4x6 pictures for 30 cents each. If she is only allowed to order $10 worth of pictures, write an equation to represent this. So what would X stand for?
The cents each.
What would X stand for? The 3x5 pictures. What would Y stand for?
4x6 pictures.
The 4x6 pictures.
Yeah.
So that equation would be, how much does it cost for a 3x5? So 0.20x plus 0.30y
10.
equals 10, the total amount she can spend. There's 20 cents for the 3x5s, 30 cents for the 4x6s, and that is a total cost of $10. Jeff is packing a care box to send to his brother, who is a soldier. He wants to send him his favorite cookies, which weigh 10 ounces each, and winter socks, which weigh 22 ounces per pair. He has been told that a box can weigh 8 pounds. Write an equation to represent the number of boxes the cookies and pairs of socks could pack for his brother. The units must match. A pound is 16 ounces. So we need to change pounds to ounces first. So if it's 8 pounds, how many ounces is that? So 8 times 16, so that's 128. So that's 128 ounces total. So X stands for what?
X stands for cookies.
Cookies.
Weight. The weight of cookies.
the weight of the cookies. And what about Y? And Y is the weight of the socks. So that equation is
10x
10x
y equals 128.
equals 128. Good. Do the last one by yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Whoa.
Calories and calories. I know. Wow. It's job. I did it, boys.
And write the equation.
Got it, boys. Okay. I did it, boys. Others.
What does X stand for?
Walking.
Walking. What does Y stand for?
Jogging.
Jogging. So what is the equation?
5x plus 7y equals 300.
Good.
Does that mean if I walk to the kitchen, I can waste all my calories before I eat them? Good job.
All right. A necklace with 6 large beads and 30 small beads, so it has 6 large beads and 30 small beads, weighs 78 grams. So what would the equation for that necklace be?
6, 7, 8 equals.
6 what?
I don't know.
Oh wait, 6x
6x
plus
plus
30y equals.
78.
Yes. What does X stand for?
3x
No, what does X stand for?
necklace.
Large B.
Large beads.
What?
You're going to have to actually try and read and not just tell me whatever words you see in front of you. What does Y stand for?
Small beads.
Small beads. Then there's a bracelet that has 3 large beads, 10 small beads, and weighs 29 grams. What would the equation for the bracelet be?
3x plus 10y equals 29.
Good. So now since we have both variables on the same side, it's easier to do which method?
Elimination.
Elimination. So do we want to eliminate X or Y?
X.
Okay, what do I need to multiply?
-2.
Times the what?
The 3x.
So I need to multiply the bottom equation by -2. So I'm going to keep the top equation exactly as is.
Wait. No. Where's the negative 2 come from? You said
Oh, you don't know about this.
no, it's today over here. So where'd the negative 2 come from?
We're trying to get the number in front of X to be the
So you
same.
just make up the number that.
Yes.
Yeah, you're trying to take out a variable.
So -6x minus 20y equals -58. We combine those, so we get 10y equals 20. Divide both sides by 10, so y equals 2. Plug that back into one of the equations. So 6x plus 30 times 2 equals 78. So 6x plus 60 equals 78. Subtract 60 from both sides. 6x equals 18 divided by 6.
3.
So x equals 3. And then I need to know, what does this mean for this situation?
3, 2. Oh, wait.
What does it mean?
Yeah. Oh, a necklace is for $3.
Okay, wait. So. Oh, okay. So one large bead costs $3.
Oh, no,
And
Brian
one
was right.
small bead costs $2.
There's nothing about cost in here.
It's about weight.
No.
It's about weight.
Oh, each small bead weighs 3
No,
grams,
3.
and each small bead costs 2 grams, or weighs
So-
2 grams.
Let's go.
Each large bead
I am so smart.
I know, right?
weighs 3 grams. and each small bead weighs 2 grams. Alright. Example 2 is a different kind of problem. It is a very important problem because this is the most often type of tested system of equation problem, or problems like this. So make sure that you are paying attention for this problem. It's important. Suppose your community center sells a total of 292 tickets for a basketball game. An adult ticket costs $3. A student ticket costs $1. The sponsors collect $470 in ticket sales. Write and solve a system to find the number of each type of ticket sold. So, first of all, what will X stand for?
Adult tickets.
Adult tickets. What will Y stand for? The student tickets. So write an equation for the total number of tickets. How many total tickets are there?
292.
So we know there are 292 tickets. Do we know anything about how many adult or student tickets there are?
No.
No, so I can just say that X plus Y equals 292. Because the amount of the both of them added together is 292 tickets. Then write an equation for the total amount of sales. So how much is an adult ticket?
3.
So 3x plus how much is a student ticket?
1.
So 1y equals how much did they make total?
470.
470. So we're going to solve that. X plus y equals 292 and 3x plus 1y equals 470. Which variable is easiest to eliminate? Y already has the same number. I just need to multiply by a negative. So I'm going to make this negative 3x minus y equals negative 470. Combine those, we get negative 2x. The y's cancel, and that equals negative 178. Divide by negative 2. So x equals positive 89. Plug that back in. So 89 plus y equals 292. So that means y equals 203.
Okay. Well.
So what does this mean?
The adults bought 89 tickets, and the students bought 203 tickets.
So they sold 89 adult tickets and 203 student tickets. Alright, suppose your class sells gift wrap for $4 per package and greeting cards for $10 per package. So we have gift wrap for $4, greeting cards for $10. You sell 205 total packages and receive a total of $1,084. Find the number of packages sold. What will X stand for? Gift wrap. What will Y stand for? The number of greeting card packages. And what is the equation for the total number of packages?
X plus Y equals 205.
X plus Y equals 205. Very good. You're adding up the number of gift cards and the number of gift wrap, and it equals to 205 total packages.
So basically, money stays with total.
Money, yes.
Okay.
So then the second one, what is the total amount of sales equation?
4x plus 10y equals 1,000.
So 4x plus 10y equals 1,084. So let's go ahead and we're going to do that as an elimination problem. So which one do I want to eliminate?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Like,
I'm going to say that right now it's easier to multiply by 10. So I'm going to want to eliminate y because I can do that math in my head.
Is it -10?
Right, so I would multiply the top by -10. So that becomes negative 10x minus 10y equals negative 2,050. Combine those two, you get negative 6x. That cancels and equals not negative 966. Divide by negative 6. So x equals 161. Plug that back in. So if x is 161, then you subtract that from 205 and you find out that y is 44. So what is the solution here?
wait, y is what?
161.44.
Well, so what does that mean?
Oh, he sold 161 gift wrap and he sold 44 greeting cards.
Good. So they sold 161 packages of gift wrap. And 44 packages of greeting cards.